Most people begin their day in a state of total surrender. The moment the alarm sounds, the first thing they do is reach for a glowing screen, allowing the chaos of the world, the demands of their inbox, and the curated lives of strangers to flood their consciousness. Before they have even taken a single conscious breath, they have already handed over their peace of mind to external forces. They are starting the day in a defensive crouch, reacting to the world instead of acting upon it. The ancient Stoics understood that the first hour of the day is the most critical period for the soul. It is the time when you either build your inner citadel or leave the gates wide open for the enemy to enter. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, did not wake up and immediately tend to the politics of the Roman Empire. He woke up and tended to the politics of his own mind. He understood that if he did not win the morning, he had no hope of conquering the day. The first essential pillar of the Stoic morning is the practice of premeditated reflection. Before the sun rises and before the noise of the city begins, the Stoic prepares for the friction of reality. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote to himself in his journal that when he woke up, he should expect to meet the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful, and the envious. This was not an exercise in cynicism. It was an exercise in immunity. By anticipating the worst of human behavior, he ensured that when he actually encountered it, he would not be surprised, and therefore he would not be reactive. Most of our emotional suffering comes from the shock of unmet expectations. We expect everyone to be kind, every light to be green, and every project to go smoothly. When reality deviates from this fantasy, we crumble. The Stoic morning ritual removes the element of shock. You walk into the world already armored, knowing that the chaos outside cannot touch the order inside unless you allow it. You decide, in the quiet of the dawn, that no person's ignorance can make you lose your character. Following this mental preparation, the second ritual is the embrace of silence and solitude. In the modern world, silence is often feared because it forces us to confront the thoughts we spend all day trying to avoid. But for the Stoics, silence is the laboratory of the self. This is the time to sit with your own existence, without the distraction of digital noise. It is the time to observe the rising tide of your own anxieties and watch them recede without acting upon them. Seneca taught that we should treat the start of the day like a clean slate, a chance to reestablish our principles before the world tries to erode them. This period of stillness allows the mind to settle like silt in a glass of water, leaving the vision clear. When you start your day with 30 minutes of absolute quiet, you develop a level of focus that is inaccessible to those who are constantly plugged into the collective outrage of the internet. You are training your brain to be the master of its own attention. The third thing you must do every morning is move your body with the intention of discipline, not just aesthetics. The Stoics were not merely intellectual. They understood the profound connection between the strength of the body and the resilience of the mind. However, their approach to physical exertion was different. They did not move for the approval of others. They moved to prove to themselves that they could endure discomfort. Whether it is a long walk in the cold air or a rigorous physical challenge, the morning should involve some form of voluntary hardship. This is the practice of training the primitive brain to obey the rational mind. When you choose to do something difficult before you do anything else, you are setting a psychological precedent for the rest of the day. You are telling yourself that you are the kind of person who does not shy away from friction. This creates a momentum of competence that carries you through the inevitable challenges of the afternoon. The fourth pillar is the ritual of deep work and the setting of the internal compass. Before you respond to a single message or fulfill a single external request, you must dedicate time to your highest priority. Most people spend their best energy helping others achieve their goals while leaving their own dreams for the exhausted hours of the evening. The Stoic flips this script. You must identify the one thing that truly matters to your character and your growth, and you must attack it while your mind is at its sharpest. This is not just about productivity. It is about self-respect. It is about proving that your own vision for your life is more important than the temporary urgencies of the world. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he was a human being who had work to do, and that his purpose was not to stay warm under the covers, but to act in accordance with his nature. This sense of duty turns a mundane morning into a mission. It gives you a sense of direction that makes you immune to the distractions that derail the average person. The final element of the Stoic morning is the practice of gratitude, coupled with the awareness of mortality. The Stoics practice memento mori, the remembrance that you could leave life right now. Rather than being morbid, this is the ultimate catalyst for clarity. When you realize that this morning could be your last, the trivialities of life lose their grip. You stop worrying about minor insults and start focusing on the beauty of existence. You look at the sunrise not as a routine occurrence, but as a miracle you were never guaranteed to see. This creates a state of profound gratitude that is rooted in reality, rather than wishful thinking. You are thankful for the breath in your lungs, the strength in your limbs, and the clarity in your mind. This gratitude becomes your internal weather, protecting you from the storms of resentment and envy that plague the unexamined life. You enter the world not as a beggar seeking satisfaction, but as a sovereign who is already satisfied with the simple fact of being alive. These 5 rituals, anticipation of friction, the mastery of silence, the discipline of the body, the prioritization of the soul, and the awareness of mortality, are not just habits. They are a system for building an unbreakable mind. They are the difference between a life of reaction and a life of intention. When you win the morning, the rest of the day becomes a series of opportunities rather than a series of problems. You move with a lethal calm because you have already faced the worst in your mind and mastered the best in your spirit. The world will try to pull you back into its drama. It will try to seduce you with comfort and distract you with noise, but you will remain unmoved. You are a Stoic. You have already won. You have built your inner citadel before the first drop of rain has even fallen. This discipline is not easy, and it is not meant to be. It is a path of resistance that leads to a life of total freedom. Most people will never follow this path because they prefer the temporary comfort of the screen to the lasting power of the self. But you are different. You are here because you know that there is a version of yourself that is far more capable and far more resilient than the one you are currently living. That version is born in the early hours of the morning. It is forged in the silence and the cold. It is sustained by the deliberate choice to be better than you were yesterday. As you walk out into the world today, carry this silence with you. Let your actions be your only advertisement. Let your calm be your only response to chaos. And remember that the morning is not just a time of day. It is a chance to decide who you are. Guard your morning. Guard your mind. And become undefeatable. The weight of a man's life is determined by the quality of his mornings. If you treat the dawn with indifference, the world will treat you with indifference. But if you meet the sun with purpose, the universe begins to align with your will. This is the ancient secret of the Stoic masters. They did not wait for the world to give them peace. They created it within themselves before the world even had a chance to speak. Stay grounded. Stay disciplined. The day is yours to conquer.